Okay, today I'm going to talk about the Django Python running on Deepin Linux. So I show you now is the Chinese Deepin Linux running the Intel Xeon CPU, okay, E3. So this is Django website teaching you how to install and sudo apt-get install Python 3. So I type it sudo apt-get install Python 3. So you install Python 3 first. And then Python 3 -pip. You need to install pip. Okay. So I have previously installed it. So I just do it again for the procedure. So you can see if you type Python -v, you can see the Python version. Python 3 is the 3.7. If you just type Python, then you will show the Python 2 only. So when you install, you need to type pip and pip 3 as well. Pip is for Python 2. Pip 3 is for Python 3. So remember that's okay. So you need to install both in order to have something, those kind of things. You support Python 2, some apps support Python 2, some Python 3. That's all. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying, Then, just follow the guide. Follow the guide here. So you can see here instructions how to install and install Django. And then you are good to go. So I will show you soon. And one thing is that there is a environment. There is a virtual environment when you're running the Python virtual environment, and also there are 2 or 3 pip environment. So I first now make a directory test. Make directory test and then go inside. Django admin, start project. Test. Here we can have test 1. First, I need to install the Django Python 3. Manage Python. This is the Django structure, the framework. Django is the framework. I'll just migrate with the Sqlite3 integrators. Before, if you just type it like this, the migrate, and you will have the Sqlite3 installed on the framework. Django is the framework using Python to make a website, but other people might use SSM, the Spring MVC, and with the MyBetas or MySQL. So I'm using the alternative, the Python. Seldom do people use Python to make website. Normally they just use the Java. So that will be the easier for Python. It's easy to learn. Easy to learn Python, and you can see here Python 3 -m virtual environment venv test 2. I created test 2 for the virtual environment here. So you can see I type sudo test 2 and /bin/activate. So I activate the virtual environment test 2. So you can see here is the test 2 environment. Now I'm in. So this is the virtual environment. You need to install all the things in the virtual environment. Pip install. So when you are in the virtual environment, you don't need to differentiate the pip or pip 3, Python 3 or Python 2. You don't need to differentiate it. Okay, just type pip install Django admin, Django, and all the kind of functions or framework or library, those kind of add-on. Just install it at PyMySQL, PLO, or some kind of other structures. Just install it. Now you are in the environment. So the folder, inside the folder, you have created the you know, the test folder inside, you will have the test one, you know, the test2 environment is the virtual environment. The test2, everything inside the test2, you can have the just the things I have installed, yeah, in the test2. It's like everything inside the Django admin, and everything inside it. So the structure is like that. But if you go to the pip environment, pip env shell, and then you will go to the system path of the virtual environment. So here is the path, the environment directly in the here on the, you can see in the folder test2. So there are some errors. It's normal to have errors, some lies. You get one lies, you can have some kind of error. You just go to Google it or Baidu it. You can Baidu or Google. You can have some solutions about how to solve the some errors when you run the app of the lies. Just follow it. So pit install Django of everything you install. Okay, Python Django, everything you try, you can just try it. So fine. Deactivate it. Once you deactivate it, you will create the virtual environment. So now you create the virtual environment and type Python manage.py and run server. You can see now I'm running the server. So just type localhost, which is 127.0.0.1, the localhost address port 8000. So you can have the now inside the Django. It worked, but it's because the debug is on, debug mode is on. So the page is not the, you know, the Django Rocket default page. So maybe you need to ratify it, but I don't want to ratify it. Maybe it's okay, just show you later. Never be, just now go back to the environment. You just type source, source, source test2 -bin -activate. So now you go back to the test2. So the test2 is the folder, is the virtual environment that I just have installed a lot of add-ons like pip install, the Django admin, py MySQL, those kind of things, you know, everything inside the test2 folder. So that's the environment, the virtual environment now I'm in. And you just type Python 3 manage.py start app test3. Everything is like this. Okay. Go inside, try. Let's see. Run server. There are some errors I don't care about that. I just want to show how it go to the rocket page. Cannot solve it. Yeah, this is the rocket page showing on the page, other people's page, rocket, just I showed. Now just Python pip install Django. I did everything I tried, deactivated. Now create the environment and Python 3 pip install Django. Just follow the guides. Okay, everything on the Baidu, you know, that's the rocket default page. Baidu or Google, yeah, the rocket. The install Django. They're showing how to install it with the admin, those kind of things. See the Django. Now I show you, because I previously created the Django project. Just the test project is doesn't work. Now I show you the Django project I created, so it works. So this is the rocket page, the rocket page of Django default page, but I changed it to, you know, my letters, my contents. So I just go to url.py, the app, Django app. You can see here, I created the views.py. So I type hello long scene 3A5000, which is the long sun 3A5000 CPU, Chinese CPU. Hello Chinese CPU. So you can see, define the function home request return this HTTP response. So when I refresh it, you can see hello long scene 3A5000 Chinese CPU is the same. So the HTTPS you can see here. I already changed the default page. I changed it. Default page here I changed because I imported import views, and then import the path. I changed views.home, which is the views.py file I created. So if I just comment it, now let's try. I return back from Django contrib import admin and comment the from .import views, and I refresh it. Oh, you can see here, that's the Django rocket I have thought about. The page, default page is that. I just changed it to my customized page with my content, and you can just add on the CSS, JavaScript, and you know, those kind of things like the style, JavaScript, CSS, whatever. With Bootstrap you can add on. Okay, alright, just create your content. So here is the Django, those kind of settings here. You can link to your MySQL, but just I create the migrate. So Python manage.py migrate, you will have the Sqlite3, so integrated with it, so you don't need to connect to the MySQL server. Okay, just db.sqlite, yeah, that database form here. Also here is like this, structures like that. This is the virtual environment test 2. This is like the other Python. Test 1 is another folder. There will be have some kind of HTML framework and some kind of, you know, those kind of things. Now I'm going to try it. It's the Python. It's the pip environment, yeah. Now I'm talking about another virtual environment. It's the pip environment. PIPENV. PIPENV. And then PIPENV pit in shell. You can go inside the shell. You can see here is the home, David, my name, the local, share, virtual link, desktop. So this is the system path of the Python, of the virtual environment, not inside your particular folder. I have just created, just like before, is the test2 is the particular folder inside your project folder. But here is the pit in shell is the store, the things, the apps, the things stored in your system Python default folder. So everything you need to reinstall again, just like pit install Django, Pilo, and Django admin, py-mysql, pit install again to the system Python virtual environment, pit environment, pit in shell. That time, that environment, that space, now we'll install it again. So that's the another way of doing the virtual environment. So we got virtual environment, we got pit environment, we got a conda, and some kind of different, I don't know, but I just prefer the first one, the first way. I firstly talked about, because you just create the environment directly at your project, inside your project folder. So it's more convenient and it's easier for you to handle it. You can just, if you have some problems, just delete it and reinstall it again. And also you divide different projects, so you can have this A, B, C, D with different A, B, C, D virtual environments. So it will be more convenient and can be easier for handling, and also for the management is better, because you can install different packages, functions and frameworks and add-on and libraries. So A with this, A with XYZ, B with PYP, and C with JPG. So different add-ons, which is more easier for you to control. So here is it worked. This is not the default page of the Django Rocket. I don't want to waste my time for fixing it, because it's just the debug mode is on, so cannot see it. So I'm gonna try to see how to verify it. So debug true, so correct it to false. So this is where I can see the work command. Oh, nothing else I can see. So here is the you must set settings, allowed hosts if debug is false. So let me try to do it. Let's see. Debug mode is false now, and settings, how to set. Let me search where it is. But if I cannot verify it, just leave it, because I have already shown you about the Django Rocket default page to use, so it is not necessary for me to verify it as well. So here is the allowed host. So whatever I need to do, I think I need to Google it or Baidu it. So let me try to type something. To see whether I can correct it. Maybe I type true inside the bracket. Let's see whether it works. Save and try again. Oh, server error. So just leave it. I don't care about it. You want to go inside it, just stop it here. Okay, that's the lesson I'm talking about. The for the Django Python running on the Linux, Deepin Chinese Linux, and then you can also connect to the MySQL. Don't need to use SSM as Java way. Okay. See you again. If you have any question, please contact me. Okay, alright.